Welcome in, college football fans and fan addict family. It's your boy Coach I, and I'm here with my man, the Stat Guy. What's going on, Stat?
Hey, what's going on tonight, Coach?
Hey man, we were just talking. We say we're gonna jump on and do a live impromptu. You know what I'm saying? Something we don't ever do, because it's almost college football season, and why not, right?
Hey, give him a little look behind of what it is we do on a day-to-day basis. We always chopping up football even if they don't see it.
Right, right. Look at our fan, Latoya. What's going in? What's going on? She appreciate you jumping in. She say, "Roll Tide." We appreciate you getting in. Shawty, I was gonna hit you up to see if you want to jump in, my man. Let me know, and I'll shoot you the link. We just was sitting here talking football. Say, why not jump on a Thursday to talk football? So we're just gonna talk to man today. Hey, first and foremost, if you're new to the channel, hit the thumbs up. Share it with somebody and subscribe to the channel. We talk SEC football all the time. I'm a Georgia alum. He's a South Carolina crazy. Hey, it makes for good content. We have all kind of guests on here from the SEC, around the SEC. We talk all the teams to try to keep. All right, we're gonna link Shotty up so he can get up in here. And but that's what we do here. How you feeling tonight, Stat?
Hey man, doing good. Just been enjoying the media days from around the world of college football. Let them get some stuff off their chest that they may be feeling some kind of way.
Right. They've been feeling some kind of way for real, right? Especially those outside of the SEC, feeling some kind of way about the scheduling and the lack thereof in their minds. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of that. We're gonna talk about 8 games versus 9 games, future scheduling, things of that nature. So y'all bear with me a minute. I want to get my guy Shotty Parker up in here, man. We're gonna shoot him the link. Here we go. All right, Shotty, you should be getting the link here in a minute. All right, so yeah, man, appreciate y'all getting in. So let's dive into it. So one of the big topics, it was like a topic at the SEC media days, right? They asked almost all the coaches, if not all the coaches, the 8 games versus 9. That's where all of this stems from. Why doesn't the SEC play 8 games? But what's crazy, or they say other conferences, because correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't the ACC play 8 games?
Yes.
Okay, so why? The first question is, why is it when they start talking 8 games, they say the SEC always play cupcakes? Why ACC don't ever get brought up? I'm not here to create an SEC ACC divide. I'm here in the South. I'm just saying, why is that?
But the other problem too is when they bring that up and they post the cupcakes the SEC's playing, they also just so happen to always conveniently leave off all the Power 4 teams that the SEC also plays in the non-conference.
As we so eloquently saw on the X app, where somebody posted 12 of the SECs out of conference, including Georgia. I think it met not South Carolina, but it was like all 12 of those schools played 3 non-P4 conference opponents in 2025. But like you said, they conveniently left out the fact that Kentucky plays Louisville, Georgia plays Georgia Tech, which is fine because in 2025, Georgia does play 3 non-P4 opponents. But it's like, okay, this is a good year for that argument, but that's not the status quo because Georgia played Clemson last year along with Georgia Tech. The year before, the 2 years Georgia won, we played Clemson, Georgia Tech in 2021. Then we played Oregon, Georgia Tech. It's like we pick and choose what stats matter at that particular time. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but the problem with it is all 12 teams that they listed all play a Power 4 opponent. Every single one of them has it. Well, 2 of them have Notre Dame, but Notre Dame it being independent, but everybody plays a legit opponent on their schedule, and a lot of them are on the road. It's not just like we're hunkering down in the South like, hey, you want some action, you got to come down here. They'll buckle it up and hit the road.
Right. And then, it's a lot of teams that don't play those home and homes, you know what I'm saying? So let me, I don't know if let me make sure I gave Charlotte the right link.
Yeah, he's right. What's going on, Shotty?
No, I didn't even, why did y'all put me up? I'm trying to give it to Shotty. Hold on. Copy. Y'all bear with us. This is what happened when you impromptu. So yeah, man, let's make sure Shawty got the right one just in case. I think let's talk about the 8 game, 9 game then. So is it a big advantage for the SEC to only play 8 games versus 9?
With the current structure of how the playoffs is set up, I would say it's a little bit of advantage overall, but the SEC doesn't take advantage of it, if that makes sense. The way they do their scheduling, they don't take advantage of it because you play a group of teams 2 years, and then you turn it around and play the other group of teams 2 years. So it's not like they're saying Georgia never has to play Bama, Texas, anybody like that. Like, they're on your schedule. If they were trying to take advantage of the 8-game schedule, Georgia would be playing Vandy, Mississippi State. They would play all the bottom feeders and let y'all coast into the playoffs. But they're putting the best product on the field for fans, honestly, with the schedule being 8 games.
Gotcha. Welcome into the show, our guy, Shawty Parker. Just my damn opinion. What's going on, Shawty?
Gentlemen, what's happening? What's happening?
Man, just a Thursday, man. We decided we was like, hey, let's try something we ain't never done. Let's just do it. Let's pull a Shawty. You know what I'm saying? Let's just jump online and start talking football. You know what
That's the best way to go. And Stat Guy, appreciate you hopping on last night, man. You dropped a few gems in there. Good info.
Yeah, I'm always down to talk trash on some women's basketball anytime.
Big fact. So we talking scheduling tonight. We talking 2 parts. It's been the whole 8 versus 9, and then the future scheduling, because future scheduling is Lincoln Riley came out and said, hey, we might as well not play Notre Dame if we got to play, if everybody ain't playing 9 games and all that good jazz. And Alabama and Georgia are taking the opposite, where we schedule like crazy P4 opponents in the next couple of years. So currently, do you think it's an advantage for the SEC to only have 8 games? Oh, the ACC only has 8 games too, by the way.
Well, you mean, is it an advantage for the SEC to only have 8 games?
Yeah, as it pertains to trying to reach the playoffs.
Yes and no. I'm talking out both sides of my mouth because the way that it's currently set up, I mean, with 8 games, if you go to 9, you're just gonna make us beat up on each other and possibly not get us into the playoff because we took an extra game. You know what I'm saying? And
Which
then
is, I think what Big Ten fans are saying why they don't reach it as a whole more, because they gotta beat up on each other.
But I'm saying, then we go to 9 games, we're gonna beat up on each other more. Then that one out of game conference still gonna be a beast.
See, and I think that was Shane Beamer's point when he talked at SEC Media Days. He said, I don't mind playing 9 conference games, but don't tell me I'm playing 9 conference games and then ending my season with Clemson.
Right.
But everybody else ain't ending, ain't starting or ending their season with bangers like that. Like us, regardless of Georgia Tech is good right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that's why, I'm not mad at Sankey saying, okay, I don't mind going to 9 games, but you got to guarantee me 4 of them things.
And I think that's the case too. That's like, again, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Kentucky have a built-in rivalry, in-state rivalry with their with another P4. Now, I can't help that. I don't know, Mississippi State don't play other P4s or whatever like that is.
Mississippi State's been playing home and home with Arizona State.
That is true. And last year, Vandy played Georgia Tech and Virginia Tech. So, I mean, you can kind of cherry pick it, but the thing is, it's like Frank Cignetti, the coach of Indiana, he came out and kind of took a shot with the scheduling last week, or talking about, somebody asked him about his schedule. He said, well, we're taking the SEC model. I'm like, you didn't beat no ranked teams last year, dog. Like, you shouldn't be talking about the SEC.
And the crazy thing about that, all of this started because Indiana dropped Virginia for a non-Power 4 team. Virginia might as well be a non-Power 4 team. What are we doing? Why are we dropping? That's like you drop Virginia. Ain't nobody scared about Virginia.
So not if you're supposed to be like that.
Yeah, so you drop Virginia to try to prove a point. For what? Like, come on. Like, you just look dumb. You look dumb. Take your free Power 4 win and keep it moving.
And to their point, it's just like all these other conferences are acting like they comparing apples to apples, right? The SEC we play. We got enough cachet built up. Our schedule is already so tough. So you can't be coming from the Big 12 or whoever, whatever conference it was, talking about, okay, well, we'll take the SEC model, but you're not the SEC.
Right. And see, my argument has always been whether we playing 8 games, we ain't playing a whole bunch of power fours like I don't know, whoever, top to bottom. Because like I say, Georgia does, Bama does, there's a few other team does, but this is my thing. If when you play, and then they try to say, okay, I was on the middle of the pack of the SEC, bottom tier of the SEC ain't no good. I'm thinking like, but these are the same teams that's producing NFL talent. So if you want to talk about the loaded talent, if you take high school rankings, whether that means recruiting, the SEC is the best. Mm-hmm. If you take in NFL draft picks when they leave college, the SEC is the best. So even when you play in a middle tier team, they still might be stocked with more NFL talent than your middle tier type teams. You know what I'm saying? So that's my argument against stuff. Like you said, that's not apples to apples. Like playing a 6-6 team in the Big 12 ain't the same as playing a 6-6 team in the SEC, because that 6-6 team in the SEC might have a couple first rounders on it, to be honest with you.
And also, you know, guys, you guys know this. These schedules are made 4 and 5, 6 years in advance. So imagine somebody Big 10 or Big 12 scheduled Vanderbilt 4 years ago, thought it was sweet.
Now Diego Pavia, they're ready for all the smoke. You know what I'm saying? So that is a good point.
Now it's further. Now it's even further than that. South Carolina, I believe their non-conference is set through 2036. At least 3 of the 4 games, they leave one open for in case something changes, so they don't have to pay somebody out to drop the game. But I mean, you're talking about for the next 11 years, and out of those 11 years, 9 of them they're already scheduled to play 2 Power 4 opponents. With like 6 of those years, they still have to add another opponent, so you could potentially see it go up to a 3rd Power 4 team.
Georgia's is scheduled out to 2034, and a guy posted a graphic that shows we play 2 out-of-conference P4 teams from 26 to 34, except 3 years. And in those 3 years, we play 3 out-of-conference P4, meaning we'll have 11 P4 opponents in those 3 years and 1 in-state, money game and that's, of course, if alignment doesn't change and, like if some of them teams come. Like we play Clemson in the future, but if Clemson and that's what people's like, oh well, in 2024 Georgia, their schedule wasn't good. Well, we're supposed to play Oklahoma, but because Oklahoma was coming to the SEC, then at this point, like you said, scheduling been out for 3, 4, 5 years. We just got to find somebody that needs some money at that point.
And that's what I was just gonna say. I'm gonna hit y'all with a Birdman saying, whatever's been contracted can be recontracted, homeboy. Because if these playoff change or some change, trust me, them games that been scheduled, they'll pay them out, figure a way to make it get right.
Right. So B Shaw, what's going on, my guy? You say how many teams going to drop the schedule? You mean like drop other P4 out of conference teams off their schedule? I don't see a lot of SEC teams doing that per se. I think a couple of, like you say, I think Indiana dropped Virginia. USC wants to drop Notre Dame. And of course, USC fans said they just like, why should we have to play Notre Dame when we play 9 conference games? That's like one of those big arguments. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but that's a rivalry, dog. What are we doing here?
Hey, one stat guy, you might need to check your check your information feed. I just saw something a little earlier where Trump did sign an executive order. I don't know if for NIL and UNC supposed to be coming to the SEC now. I don't know if it was just fake news or what.
Well, the UNC smoke has been going all day. That's kind of what got me and Stat talking about the whole scheduling. So, he said, no, drop us like UCLA did us. Well, right. UCLA, we were supposed to be playing UCLA this year, but they dropped us once they went to once they knew that they might have a chance to go to the Big Ten.
Well, and Wake Forest dropped their home and home with Ole Miss after Ole Miss hung 70 on their noggin. They're like, yeah, we ain't even seeing y'all a second time. Bye.
Right. So I don't know how many more teams going to drop. Like right now, if you look at the teams we have, Georgia has scheduled in the future is, I mean, of course, Clemson. Clemson's not going to drop us unless they come to the SEC. That's the only way that Clemson game won't get played. We got Florida State. We had Texas, but now they're in the conference. So, you know what I'm saying, that'll have to be replaced with somebody. We got Louisville, we got Florida State. I want to say we got one of the Big 12 schools. I don't remember who it is, but every year, of course, we always play Georgia Tech at the end, and then we add people like that. So,
and then
I think at this point, I think some of the seeding helps, not like the automatic seeding. They took that away as far as you win your conference, you in the top 4 or whatever. But if you keep adding teams, I don't see why we shouldn't have, a good out of conference game. Why are you dropping us if there's 16 slots available? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? Just win your conference. If that's the case, just win your conference.
And that I was just gonna say, like, really, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really think Sank in no rush to go to no 9 game because the money you pulling from them big crossover games, you know what I'm saying? Like, just say for instance, like Ohio State playing on opening weekend. Bro, come on, man. That might sell out more than any other game on your schedule that's from your conference.
Right, like you think about the Clemson LSU game
in Atlanta.
And then the Benz on that Sunday, you got South Carolina, Virginia Tech, and where normally nobody would tune into Virginia Tech, not like that. Now the Virginia Tech fans, we talking about national exposure. You know what I'm saying? That Sunday is reserved for that game and Notre Dame and Miami. Like those are bangers, and then you bring them in conference. Like you said, it could take a little something off of it, unless you got a real brand like a Texas, like a Oklahoma. Now, when Texas and Georgia play, it don't matter if it's out of conference, in conference, people want to see that right there. So, B. Shaw said because Indiana beat nobody and got in, that's true.
They set the standard.
No. They didn't make it to the conference championship, no.
Hold on, I thought they only lost 1 game.
2. They played 2 ranked teams and got blown out.
They lost to the 2 ranked. Yeah, they lost to the 2 ranked teams that they played.
So what they finished in that conference? Number 2?
No, they finished like 4th. Third or 4th.
In the conference?
Yeah. So Oregon won the Big Ten championship against Penn State.
Right.
And Ohio State finished.
Ohio State was 3rd. And Indiana was 4th.
Oh, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they got 4 teams. Ooh.
Yeah.
But that's why people were mad.
But that's why people are talking about scheduling because Indiana didn't beat a ranked team last year. Whereas Ole Miss beat Georgia, Alabama beat Georgia, SC beat Oklahoma, and Texas A&M.
But I tell you,
and Clemson.
And Missouri was ranked when we beat them.
But I would think the way that they're going to do the seeding without the auto seeding, the rankings would take care of that because them not beating ranked teams like that moving forward, they won't get catapulted up high like that. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So being say why sign up? This question is what the other conferences are talking about. Like Kirby wants those games. He says it's good for the fans. It's good for college football. He's like, and again, it's good for just competition. Ben says, why sign up for out of conference teams, in that case? And that's the mentality that some of these other conference teams are taking. So Stat Guy, why sign up for, other than fan enjoyment, why sign up for other P4 teams?
So we're going to bring this from the SEC perspective. The Big Ten protects their brand. They don't make their horses schedule one another. Like they play maybe 1 big game a year within the conference. They're allowing multiple teams, 1 loss or undefeated. So by scheduling a Texas at Ohio State, you can go and throw a punch to another conference's upper echelon and knock them down a rung or 2 to help everybody's playoff chances from your own conference. Now, a lot of conferences are going to avoid this if it's not a rivalry game. But I think if you want to claim to be the best conference, you got to try to schedule anybody and everybody, whether home or away, and go throw your weight around because the other conferences are protecting their brand a lot better than the SEC. How easy would it be for the SEC to protect Georgia or Alabama or Texas and not give them one of the other 3 they would run the table and walk into Atlanta in the bins and then walk into the playoffs and a guaranteed top 4 seed.
Right. Right. Well, some would say they did protect Texas because they only have to play one other hard school, but that's we'll leave that for another show. What's going on, JB? Bisky getting in the building. We appreciate you tapping in with us, man. We on the impromptu SEC football talk / college football talk, man, talking about these schedules. So, Charlotte, let me ask you this. There's a lot of complaints, not necessarily from us, about scheduling. How would you fix college Power 4 scheduling so that it's more uniform?
Okay. And I want to piggyback off that last thing too. I would say this, man. I also think being able to play other teams, especially good teams from other conferences, help out with the versatility of your team. I don't want to see no adversity for the first time. I only play SEC every year, all year. Then the first time I see some adversity is when I get to the playoff from a different team. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So I want to see some of that versatility. I want to see those different challenges and things that it brings about to my own team playing somebody out of conference and not just the usual. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I like that for sure.
In terms of fixing the schedule, I think we've talked about it before, kind of loosely in the past. Like, if I wanted to fix the schedule, I would keep it at the 8. But what I would do is I would make sure that my out of conference games will always be somebody from the Big 10 or Big 12. And everybody needs to play somebody from another power conference. I know you got to have one game in there to give somebody some money, a little small school to help them out. But every Power 4 team needs to have at least 1 or 2 games on their conference where they travel around and play somebody from another conference. As a word that you use, I like the term you use, cross-pollinate.
Right. I think if everybody play 8, and shout out to Hard Wild for getting in. We appreciate you, Mo. Hey, we got an open spot up here now. This is an impromptu live now. If you got some time on your hands, we can get that Hard Wild point of view. I can shoot you that link. You just let me know, dog. But appreciate you tapping in. I think. What about like if just the Power 4 teams? And now, granted, it's a little skewed because we got 16 in the SEC. They got 16 in the ACC. I think it's 16 in the Big 12, right? Yeah. The Big 10 is 18. And I don't know. We just have to sit down and work the numbers out. But what if everybody played 8 games in conference? That leaves 4 out of conference games. Like you say, 1 money game. You still got to help the small school get that dough. And then you play 1 team from the Big 12, 1 team from the Big 10, 1 team, and then them two oddball Big 10 schools, it probably ain't gonna matter. Like maybe they get a free pass and they only have to pay 2 P4s because of the numbers. We throw Notre Dame in there.
Notre Dame's got to have 12 games. So that fixes it right there.
Right, because Notre Dame does have to have that. Really does. So Latoya says, good point. How much money would Bama versus Colorado in the OOC? Right, with Deion, with Prime as the coach, with Bama and the brand. Now we talking money. That's what Charlotte was talking about earlier.
I'm gonna give you another banger. You probably would have never thought about it though. Colorado playing Ole Miss or Mississippi State. He just came from Jackson.
And then now it's a national game instead of a like you say, a regional or a conference game. He's like, okay, well, I can catch another conference game because we know these out of conference OOCs only happen like at the beginning of the year. We got to tune in. Like, how many people are looking forward to that first weekend as opposed to week? And I can guarantee you, if we look at week 7 when everybody playing conference opponents, it's probably just as good. But people thinking about that first one because, like you say, you got all the matchups outside of the
like old season.
I'm just letting y'all know, y'all are both thinking way too small. The matchup is Colorado versus Texas or Texas A&M played in Arlington.
Well, that's a brand. You can't go wrong with anybody playing Texas. You know what I'm saying?
But you move the game. You move the game to Dallas in Jerry World. Now you got 100,000 plus seats to sell out. Everybody in Dallas coming to see Prime. Like,
man, why are you playing? We still like when it comes to Prime now. We got to get the Prime Florida State matchup now. We got to get that one. We got that. Talk about prime time. I don't care what they projected to be in the season. Talk about Deion playing his former team back, like with his alma mater, first game, who Rumors is he wanted to coach there. They didn't want him, whatever. We don't know what's true, what's not, but it's a story nonetheless.
There's
That's
some
what I'm
bad
talking about.
blood.
That's what people like to see, though, right? The
Yeah.
big time matchups.
Oklahoma Clemson.
Oklahoma Clemson, BV going back home, right? That'll be a good one. I mean, just think about how the hype of, like, to Shawty's point, the hype of the Oregon Georgia game. I mean, Georgia already a brand, Oregon's already a brand, but it was Dan Lannon versus his former team, and not that it's happened before, but when it's a smaller scale, you don't pay as much attention. Now you got these big brands playing each other, so. I'm just glad Ohio State and Michigan are playing somebody, but like out of conference, like heavy hitters. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't playing, like Ohio State ain't playing, again, Mississippi State. You know what I'm saying? That's like, will we watch that if it's opening weekend? Yeah, but like it's not, we ain't as invested.
And you know what, guys? It's also almost like a double negative now, because now when you go to bowl season, ain't nobody really playing. Unless it's like the major games, you know what I'm saying? So if you only play conference games and that's all you playing, you finally go out the bowl season, they ain't gonna really want to watch them no way now, for real, cause ain't nobody really playing in the bowls. Everybody opting out, you know what I'm saying? So
That's
it's
a
good
good
to
point,
get those
Sean.
games like we talking about early in the season or throughout the season.
That makes it a better reason, right, to play those games early in the season, because you said earlier, like those kind of matchups, we look at those. We look at the Florida State Bama at the beginning. That's like a bowl game back in the BCS. Because that's what you waited for. Like in the BCS, you waited for bowl season and say, all right, y'all been claiming y'all the best. Now we're going to see what y'all look like. Now we're going to see what South Carolina, Ohio State do in that bowl season. Now we're going to see what South Carolina, Michigan do in that bowl season. We're going to see what Georgia do against Ron Dane and Wisconsin in that bowl season. It's like, but now we don't have that because so many people sit out. So bowl season is like, is it good? Is it not? We don't know. We don't care. That's why we lost type deal. So, I don't know. I like, as a fan, of course, I like all the big time matchups. Again, save the one game for the money game. I still say if I was commissioner, I'm putting the money game as the spring game. I'm like, give me the money game as the spring game and then play.
No, Coach. I'm gonna see what you think about their coaching staff. This what I think spring games should be.
Okay.
I think spring games should be basically scrimmages or full live games between other schools, but it's the non-letterman.
Oh, okay. So you saying we could technically play Colorado in a spring game, but it'd be all the walk-ons.
Well, it can be redshirt fresh. It just long as you're
freshman, right? As long as you ain't letter, you ain't played enough snaps to letter, then you playing in that game. I can see
get
that.
Everybody. That's still a big draw. Everybody get to come. Then families get a chance to see kids who normally ain't gonna get to play, because they kid might not never play, but they get a chance to see them play. You know what I'm saying? Real life football.
Don't talk about enough. There's a lot of kids that go to school on scholarship for football, basketball, whatever, and they never get to play. So that's a guaranteed high profile game. I like that, and playing, like I say, against because we want to get a good look, but we don't want to show everybody everything. That's why people start like, well, I don't want to be on TV.
That's why you put the non-letterman in. You got to worry about that no more.
I say combine my idea with your idea, and the letterman only get to play in the first quarter. The rest of the game, and again, like I said, it could be another team, but it also could be that money game. That way you can play. Stat guy hit me with, if Clemson, because the talk is now North Carolina wants to come to the SEC. I don't know how advanced they are in these talks. That's not my space, people. Go follow College Football Mafia on YouTube. They talk about all that in real depth. So, but if it happened, like let's say North Carolina, Virginia, Clemson, and who was the fourth team? Georgia Tech all came to the SEC. As a fan wanting good matchups, why would we not play 12 straight conference games? Or 12 straight Power 4 games, you know what I'm saying? Without of course, like I say, to put the money game in the spring. Think about that. Like about all the good matchups you can have if you go to 20 teams.
The only bad part of that is, Coach, it just, we use the word all the time. You just cannibalize yourself. Like you damaging your own self a chance.
But if everybody doing it, everybody's cannibalizing themselves. I'm talking about if every conference did that.
I got
you.
Okay.
Your whole schedule is not just your conference, but kind of like the NFL, but on a bigger scale. You play your conference schedule, whether that's 8 or 9, but it's uniform across.
And guess who's gonna be crying? And guess who's gonna be the main one not crying if we went to that? The Big Ten, because they ain't gonna have but 3 schools that halfway decent, and the rest of the 9 gonna be trash.
Right. Shout out to B Sharp, man. Sharp Shoes Podcast getting in. We appreciate it. We on there impromptu live. B Sharp, you know what I'm saying? Me and Stat say, why not jump on, man? Talk a little college football, especially scheduling 8 versus 9, futures of the future out of conference Power 4, because that's been the talk on social media the last 2 days, and then SEC Media Days, that was a big thing. Now Big Ten and ACC Media Days going on, and they talking about the same thing. SEC catching strays from everybody, or direct shots, whatever you want to call them. So we appreciate you getting in, my guy. We're talking about now kind of like what we would want to see for those watching. What would you want to see in college football schedule? Because as fans, again, do I want my team to have a clear path to, like, part of me wants a clear path, but part of me don't, because of the competitor in me. You know, I like the fact that Georgia played Oregon to open the year and then finished with Georgia Tech, went through an SEC schedule and still went undefeated. Played Ohio State, played, TCU, played in the SEC championship against LSU. We can say we beat most of the best. You know what I'm saying? We might didn't have to play Alabama that year, but we beat most of the best, if not all of the best. I like to say that because I don't want nobody, even though they can't take away the hardware, they can't take away the title, it still leaves something to be desired. If you go through a schedule like an Indiana and then you fall into a national championship, they be like, well, you ain't play nobody. You know what I'm saying?
I got something for you.
What?
You'll enjoy this. So let's say 8 or 9 games, it fits either way.
Okay.
You take all 4 conferences, you create a conference contenders challenge. Some network picks it up, ESPN.
Hold on, what did that consist of, though? What you mean by?
I'm going to describe it for you. The winner of it gets $10 million for their conference to pass out to the universities. And now they have to, the conferences, so every year your conference gets to set the games against another conference. So like in our year, we would get to set all of our conference games. But are you going to put your horses against the other conference's horses to try to guarantee that you can run it down and win it? Or are you going to give your conference the cupcakes from other conference to protect them?
When is this supposedly you're thinking in the beginning of the season, kind of like a SEC big, huh?
Yeah, so it would be so
yeah, so that's what I think. That's what Shorty wanted. Shorty wanted the detail of like, is this kind of like a similar thing to like the SEC, ACC basketball challenge?
Okay. But every so you have SEC Big 10 week 1, then week 2 you have SEC Big 12, and then week 3 you have SEC ACC.
That's kind of so basically you still playing, but it's in a. You saying it's in like a tournament format type?
Like a point for, so you get a point for a win. So whoever wins more games, Big Ten or ACC, you get 1 point for your conference.
Kind of like the NBA Commanders Cup, but you ain't playing the championship at the end. You just going through those 3 weeks. Every win, your conference gets a point, and whoever has the most wins gets the $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. Okay. So basically, that's kind of like what me and Shawty said with playing everybody from the other conference. It's just now you put a point system to it. Right. And then when you add up the points, because you want these games to mean something, even if they don't mean anything towards your conference championship, you want to say, okay, if we beat y'all, then we get a point. And then now, where does the $10 million go? I know, does it go to the whole conference?
The whole conference. And then the conference splits it up based on.
I got you.
It's got to go. It's got to. Now the conference can say they're going to weigh it based off of points. So, like, say you're not. You know what? I'll take a shot. I don't care. Say you're Mississippi State and you go 0-3. Man, here's $50. Like, I don't know what to do for you.
No, you know that's not happening. But that's a whole different conversation. How they split the money.
Yeah, but the conference can do whatever they want with the money. Okay. But it goes to the conference.
So what you saying, Shawty? What you think? Like, same thing we said. But you add a point system to it for every win. So we said You play your 8 conference games or 9, whatever. Then you play one game from each of the other conferences. In those games, whoever wins gets a point for their conference. And once it's finished, whatever conference got the most points in those 3 weeks, they win the $10 million.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I understand. I don't think I have a total understanding of it, but the thing that I would say from what I think I understand of it is that the only reason I don't like it is because the way college football is set up, it's about the money, and whoever has the most money gonna have a grip on that type of system. Meaning, because you're gonna be winning the most. That's just like out of the SEC. Out of the last 20 years, ain't number 4 teams won the SEC. You see what I'm saying? It's just whoever got the most money. When you talking about college football, it just those kind of people gonna have a grip on that kind of system because they're gonna always have the best teams and players.
Well, this is the thing. I think Stat is saying every single team from the SEC, and just like I said, like don't take what Stat said out. We put our schedule, what you and I said, into it. So basically, it's 8 conference games, and then they play 3. So the 9, 10, and 11. One game from like Georgia would play one team from the Big 12, one team from the Big 10, one team from the ACC. Every school in Power 4 does this.
Right.
But they do it in the first 3 weeks. Let's just say they do it in the first 3 weeks. After the 3 weeks, you just look at the games and say, okay, the SEC won 15 of those matchups. The Big 10 won 12 of those matchups. The ACC won 9 of those, whatever. SEC gets $10 million. That's the so the money ain't even really controlling it. That's
no. I'm talking about the money that the schools have that they have themselves, just like in terms of NIL. Just like I know NIL, everybody get the same not tax bracket, but the same cap. Yeah, but we know there ain't no such thing as a cap. So what I'm just saying, when they're talking about wins and losses, it's gonna still be the big. If you put something like that in place, you still gonna have the same 3-4 schools. I think majority, I mean not school but conferences, winning it the most of the time because we just got the best players. We got the best players. Got the most money.
Well, it goes to the debate though. It goes to the debate of people always say now if you take Georgia and Bama out, then the middle of the conference is the same as the middle of the conference. If you take Ohio, that's what they're saying. So this is what I'm saying. The stat guys thing puts more value on that because now South Carolina needs to beat Maryland. South Carolina needs to beat Virginia Tech. South Carolina needs to beat K-State because they earn a point for us. There's no like winner as far as a tournament bracket type thing. Mm-hmm. So I think it puts more emphasis on that. Like you say, I think Georgia, but then Georgia may be playing. The only problem I see with it is if it happened year over year, and Shawty brought this up when we talked about our idea about playing other conferences. Some years you're going to draw Georgia. Some years you're going to draw Mississippi State. And it's going to be advantage whoever draws Mississippi State. Perfect Cracker, what's going on, my guy? He said, OU calls dibs on Nebraska and Oklahoma State if we could do that. We don't care about – say they don't care about the ACC. Well,
the prize of winning that tournament.
$10 million for whoever. So just like – so monetary. Right. So think about it like this. The SEC and the ACC – does a basketball challenge. Sometimes it's the SEC Big 10. This past year, the SEC out of 18 games, the SEC won 15 of them or 14 out of 17, whatever it was. It's like the SEC really won. They would have got a point for every win. And at the end, we say, okay, well, the SEC got 14, the ACC got 3, the SEC get $10 million. So it ain't no tournament at the end. You know what I'm saying? It's just you playing your regular schedule, but when you play out of conference games, you get a point for it towards your conference. That's all he was saying. Perfect Cracker. That would be fine 1 year, but stat guy, I'm pretty sure you mean like to rotate every year though, right? You don't get to play the same teams every season. I think
it should be monetary. It should be for I kind of like I'm putting down, I'm picking up what you're putting down now.
Right. But you don't want it to be monetary though.
It should be like that should lead to like the tiebreaker or to get extra team
like the All-Star game in MLB. Like the All-Star game in MLB. Whichever East-West wins the All-Star game, that's who's the home team in the World Series.
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, that put a little bit on because when you take money out, because some conferences might, we don't care about the money, we get enough money. But when you put, all right, well, this conference is guaranteed home field advantage, or better yet, if you go to a model where you have certain number of automatic qualifiers,
Gives you
not
a
automatic
15.
seeds, you say the winner of this tournament gets a guaranteed 4 teams in the playoffs. Hey, Shelby in the building. What's going on, First Lady? We appreciate you tapping in with us. We just here on an impromptu Thursday night talking college football scheduling and kind of some of the stuff we want to see as fans. We appreciate y'all tapping in. Let us know as scheduling, do you like when your team schedules a lot of out-of-conference Power 4 teams, or do you want to do something that some of the other conferences want to do and just play your conference schedule and schedule some cupcakes? Let us know in the comments. Go ahead, Seth.
Now, I will tell you one thing that drives me crazy, and I know I'm on the outside of this, is that daggone Chick-fil-A kickoff. It's going to be cool that we're in the bins. It's a Sunday afternoon. We got the TV all to ourselves. But this game was supposed to be Saturday night in Lane Stadium 6 years ago when we signed the contract. I wanted a night game in Lane Stadium to get to experience Enter Sandman as a fan. And they took that from me. And now there ain't going to be, it's going to be like probably 80-20. It's going to be horrible down there. So I get the kickoff games, but man, sign me up for home and home.
Who y'all open up with against that?
Vatek.
Because like whether they're good or not, they do have one of the best like home night atmospheres in the country at Virginia Tech. And Stat saying as a fan, he would have rather experienced Virginia Tech Enter Sandman as opposed to going to the bins. So
yeah, I agree.
I think I'm with that. I think I'm with that. Other than like maybe like you said, when they play some of them games at Jerry World because it's Jerry World, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it all depends on the teams too, because as a fan, like you say, it's different playing at Florida State and Chief Osceola rolling out there with the spear on fire and all that, as opposed to going to the Jaguar Stadium. It ain't gonna be the same thing.
Prime example, we just recently signed a home and home with North Carolina. I think 29-30 or 29-31. Move that junk to Charlotte. Who cares?
So that one you don't want to play at home and home.
Move it to Charlotte. I don't care. That joint can be in Charlotte. We're still gonna out-fan them in Charlotte. It's North Carolina and it's football, dog. I don't care. Just play it in Charlotte.
That thing might change, and
they got Bill Belichick.
Hey.
Man, we'll see if he makes it through this year.
Right.
College football different. It's rigorous, but we'll see if he can make it. This ain't the NFL. He ain't got Tom Brady deflating balls for him.
Bill Belichick doing that just get his son a job, man. He ain't gonna be that long.
Right. First Lady say I agree with that. The kickoff is cool, but I'd rather play home and home against Clemson last year, and then whatever we get to play again. Well, last year and then 2021 would have been the other one. We played in Charlotte and we played in Atlanta. I'm with that because especially when you talk about these marquee games, like Texas is going to Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Michigan's going to Oklahoma. They're not playing at like whatever, professional stadium. I think it means more when you're playing. I think that's what helped the playoffs too. That first round when you don't get a bye, you get to play at home. That's better than playing at the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl Stadium or the Rose. I mean, I know people love the Rose Bowl. I love the Rose Bowl too. But you talking about home and home, Oregon versus Bama, or like whoever the higher seed is, the home team. Give me that every single time. Give me
at
that
home for sure.
Right, at home for sure. Like for sure. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of mad we didn't get to do the home and home against OU. We have to wait 2 years into this whole new schedule to get a home and home versus OU. Hopefully UCLA canceling only because I was planning on going to the game being in LA. It wasn't necessarily the team that I was looking forward to playing. Like UCLA ain't that good. Be different though. It's gonna be different though when Florida State. If everything stays status quo and we do the home and home with Florida State, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Because it's Florida State, so it's a little bit different.
Now I will say this as far as with the home and home with North Carolina is even if it's not like a football power brand, maybe there's something at that school. Like we've always played them in Charlotte. So if we go to Chapel Hill, now I got a reason to go up to Chapel Hill and check out the Dean Smith Center. Never been before. Like it gives me a reason to get up to Chapel Hill to go experience the Dean Smith Center. And I think there's a couple places like that where if you have these, like imagine Duke and Georgia played home and home. You give you a reason to go up to Duke and check out Cameron Indoor before the game.
Right.
It's like there's places like that they might not be football powers, but they have other stuff that fans want to see, whether it's a town or at the university, whatever the case may be. I think the more stuff you can keep in the university, in those towns, is better than putting them in major cities.
Right. If you're just tapping in with us, man, it's Coach I, Stat Guy, Shawty Parker, man. We on here on the Fanatic talking scheduling, 8 versus 9 games, future scheduling, playing Power 4, out of conference. Fellas, let me ask you this. How does it affect scheduling, you think, if they do add more teams to these conferences? Like I say, Big Ten is playing 9 games. They got 18 teams. If 4 teams get added to the SEC, that's 20 teams. I don't know if we can stay at 8 games.
Well,
you gotta kind of play 9. So, because if not, we're gonna have that same situation where we like Texas A&M. We ain't been to Texas A&M yet, bro.
I mean, it's just gonna take time. We can do it though.
Now, I will tell you this: if it's the 4 teams they're talking about, Virginia, North Carolina, Clemson, and Georgia Tech, the team that gets hurt the most from that is Kentucky,
because they don't get Louisville.
Because Louisville and Florida, I guess, without Florida State. But it's like now you have 9 conference games and you got to play Louisville. That's tough.
That's kind of the point that your coach making already.
Yeah, but we're still gonna Beamer ain't worried. We're still gonna go out, even if we have a 9-game schedule. We're going out, even if Clemson's part of that. We're going out and getting 2 more anyway. I think the plan is always to get up to 11 Power 4 games and have that one free buy me game.
I just think if you keep growing, and I think it's going to grow in the Super Leagues eventually. I said that in 2021. I don't know how fast or long it's going to take. But as you grow, you got to include more conference games so that it's even fair inside your own conference. Because then if you stay at 8 games, you got 20 teams. I don't know how many teams that work out that you ain't playing, but you're like, let's not act like people ain't looking at Texas like they didn't even play half of the good teams in the SEC and made it to the SEC championship. It's only going to get worse if you don't increase the number of games, if you increase the number of teams.
But the issue you have, I mean, I was just going to say that I don't think necessarily because you increase, because what I'm saying is you get more teams don't mean you have to increase the conference game because you're still only playing 12 games. You see what I'm saying? It just the way that you schedule it, it's gonna have to take longer because I don't know if we figured out yet, and it may be something we should have probably took a tally. Are there more pros or cons going to the 8 or 9 game? Because I don't know if it's more pros to go to 9 game, to be honest with you.
I'm be honest with you. I don't have a preference of either. I want it to be. I don't agree with Danny Cannell a lot, but uniformity is all I want. You know what I'm saying? Like if everybody playing 8 games, I want to play 8 games, but I want the out of conference to be uniform too. That's my only thing. Like if
that's gonna be the problem, you never can't, because the conferences ain't equal.
I know. First lady said we don't need another team. Any other teams in the SEC, y'all stay where y'all at. We don't need Texas TPA. We got Vandy. We go eventually. It's coming. It's coming first. I'm telling you, man. It's. I said in 2021 it was going to eventually be 2 super conferences. It was going to be what did I say? 20 teams. I said this is what I said. I said 20 teams and 2 super conferences. It's going to be only 40 teams in the Power 2, and then there's going to be other championships or something like that. Maybe 46 or something like that, but not a lot more total. But and then they was like, well, who would you cut out? And I was like, I named a lot of teams from the Big 12. I'm like, we gotta keep it a buck, dog. Like we talking about people who relevant. Some people like, and then they start attacking Vandy. And I'm like, Vandy was a charter member of the SEC. When you're already in the club, you don't have to worry about admission. You know what I'm saying?
And Cole, I'm gonna throw just a little caveat. I've been of the same mindset too. That's something I've been preaching. But I would say this, even it may even boil down to the point where, trust me, it can happen because there's so much money involved. It may not necessarily be it may not necessarily be 2 power conferences when we talking about all sports.
Right.
But when you talk about NCAA football,
it's
gonna be 2 power conferences.
That's what I think.
I know this is gonna sound crazy, but here's the dream scenario. the SEC and the Big Ten form their own thing.
That
Say
won't
they
get
end
there.
up getting to like 48 or 60 teams, and then you break that 48 down into 4 smaller 12-team little divisions. I mean, I know
Right.
it's crazy
It's
to think
closer.
about,
It's closer to
but
the NFL. It's like I say, and I think that was the number stat you hit it on the head. 48 is what I said. If you look right now, there's 16, 16, 16, and then
18.
18. That gives you 66 teams plus Notre Dame 67. You go down to 48 teams at some point, like you gotta some of the teams on the chocolate block. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
It's just what it is.
now we'll say that if they do it that way, Vandy and Northwestern are in trouble.
Man, I don't think Vandy in trouble.
No, because you're not keeping a conference brand. The two of them are branching away from the NCAA. If the two of them branch away from the NCAA to kind of build their own thing,
yeah,
Vandy and Northwestern are in trouble.
That's a man. See, now we could go into that. That's a like what teams would be
Oh,
on.
really? Maybe at that point, to that point, you squeezing all the look. It gonna be the best of the best that gonna be in those two conferences.
So then you looking at historical. You know, you start looking at historical winning percentages and championships and all of that stuff. Well, if that's the case, yeah, Vandy will. I was just thinking more so, okay, the Big Ten and the SEC keep their teams, and then you got to go to 48. So Big Ten would have to add 6 more teams, and the SEC would have to add 10 more teams because they go 24 and 24. You see what I'm saying? That means you picking from the Big 12 and the ACC. I feel like some of them would get left off. That's how I kind of saw it.
Everybody can't get on the boat.
Ain't but so much room in the club. It's a fire hazard once we get past so many people.
So if you look at it, there's 34 between the Big Ten and SEC. Mm-hmm. That leaves 14 spots. You know Clemson's good. You know Florida State's in. Miami's probably in. Louisville, Georgia Tech. That takes you up to 39. Who are your last 9 teams? Who would you take?
Right now?
It's gonna be all the brand, anybody with the bigger brands,
you know.
Yeah,
Texas Tech because they got their own money. SMU because they got
I'd have to check that out, dog. I don't know. I'd check that out. Like we talking like current, of course Clemson's in. It was just ACC. Clemson's in, Florida State's in, Miami's in. Louisville's in. From Big 12, I'm taking
you gotta take Colorado at this
point. I'm taking Oklahoma State.
Kansas or Kansas State.
Maybe Kansas State.
But you're talking about the brands out of
Utah.
They the best out of the league.
I'm taking Utah. For sure.
Are they sustainable, right? I think. Oh yeah, I think they had a little run, but I don't know about Utah. But
ever since, let me tell you, ever since before Urban was at Florida, he was at Utah. Since then, they've been like 8+ wins on an average more.
At that point, we might well take Iowa then.
I was already in the Big Ten, so they already in the club.
Okay, yeah.
They already in the club. You know, the question comes down.
You don't have to bring USC. I don't give a damn what their record is.
Right, they in the club too because they already in the Big Ten. I think
that right, they did go to the Big Ten.
Right. So I think the question comes down to in those scenarios is: do you take a do you take a Texas Tech or do you take like a NC State?
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, yeah.
They got their own money. Same with SMU. Because the thing is, say you got 3 spots left, and you got whatever schools, SMU and Texas Tech are taking 2 of those 3 spots because they can buy their way in. They'll just say, how much money do you want and write you a check.
So you saying the money will trump the whatever else going on, huh?
Right.
When you get down to the nitty gritty, yeah, for sure.
I mean, look at what the SMU did to get into the ACC. Hey, don't pay us for 10 years. We don't care. Like, they're just going to pull that Trump card again and be like, here's you a check. Right. We don't need money for a decade. We good.
And then came over there and won the league.
Well,
got the championship.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
But still, hey, and that's on to another time. We run up on time, but how about that? To Shawty's point, there was somebody in the conference championship of all the Power 4 teams that was a first-year member. SMU, Oregon, Arizona State, and Texas. That's wild, ain't it?
That's why we got to cross pollinate.
Yeah, we got to. All right, man. Before we get up out of here, man, shout to tell the people where they can find you at, man.
Oh man, you can find me on Respect the Hedges, obviously on Tuesday nights, man, at 8:00. For sure every week. You can also find me at Just My Damn Opinion on Wednesday nights at 9:00. And you can always find me with Coach and Stat Guy whenever they doing something, man. I be out in these streets, man.
That's right, man. Y'all make sure y'all go hit that like and subscribe on Just My Damn Opinion and the bell notification. Like you said, you don't know when you're going to pop up. Stat Guy, closing words for our first impromptu live.
Hey, man, look, you never know when we're going to pop up. But when we do pop up, you know we're going to talk that stuff. I enjoyed, man. I thought we were going to go about 10 minutes, man. Here we are, an hour in. Look at us go.
I think
Stat, sometimes you got to pop up and show them, Stat.
You know, sometimes the ears get to ringing. You just got to pop out of nowhere. Let them know you're still there.
Right. It ain't like we don't do this on the regular on the phone anyway. We might as well put it out there in the YouTube verse for people to make their commentary on it, man. Shout out to everybody that participated today on Facebook and or YouTube, man. We appreciate y'all, man. It's been a blast today, and we'll be back next week, man. Respect the Hedges on Tuesday. Look forward to getting something out. It'll probably be a video for the fan addict. We'll probably start breaking down some of these. We got a South Carolina preview coming for sure. We're gonna start putting our game previews out, so y'all make sure y'all tap in. If you're watching this as part of the replay game, we appreciate you too. Make sure you get in them comments and tell us your thoughts on 8 versus 9, future scheduling, and possible Super League scheduling as well, man. So for my guy Shawty Parker, Stat Guy, I'm the coach, and we out of here.